Hey guys, welcome to this practice. My name is Danica and I'm here at MYOM Yoga. For this practice we will need some yoga blocks, and if you don't have them at home, even some upside down tall cups work, as well as a yoga strap. And again, if you don't have a strap at home, kind of rolling up a towel works just as good, a belt, an open pair of pants, anything nice and long, okay? To begin this practice though, let's start lying down on our backs in Shavasana. So if you would like any supports underneath your knees, a pillow, perhaps your legs and calves supported by blocks, feel free to bring that in. You're just wanting a pose where you can comfortably lie back and relax through your entire body. Often we turn the palms up towards the ceiling to help open across the chest, heart space is open. And as you come down, let's come together today and draw in the breath. So a big inhale through the nose. And releasing out through the mouth. Now one more time, in through the nose. And out through your mouth. Begin to settle in. Feel the weight of your body sinking to the backside, and the backside of your body just expanding into all the supports beneath you. Feel the weight of your body pool in different areas where we ground down deeper through the back of our head, back of our shoulders, back of the hips, legs, and heels. Let's take a moment to focus this practice on the physical aspect. So learning and listening to our physical body and all of the cues and sensations that we can receive. Let's notice the breath. And use the breath as a tool to assist us in understanding how our physical practice is. If the breath shortens and becomes very quick or choppy, we know we might be pushing ourselves. And we can determine if it's a good thing, if we're pushing ourselves just the right amount, or if it is too much, then we know to ease off. Let the breath resettle and continue with the practice. Anytime modifications are offered, feel free to take them. Feel free to bring in your own. But every so often, I really like dedicating a practice to the physical practice and all the feelings that we get, because so often we spend a lot of time in our mind. Sometimes we get carried away with a thought. Sometimes the mind plays tricks on us. So listen to your body won't trick you. With that, let's take one more deep breath in through the nose. And a long breath out. And slowly begin to awaken your body. Your head can rock side to side. Wiggle through your fingers and toes, roll into the ankles, into your wrists. And then with an inhale, let's start to sweep the arms toward the back of the room. Draw the navel in, low back ribs, stay pressing against the ground, but reach your body. On an exhale, settle everything back down. One more time, inhale, find that reach. And on your exhale, everything melting down. One by one, pull your knees in towards your chest, letting your hands wrap around your shins or the back of your thighs. Take a moment to feel yourself in stillness here. The weight of your body dropping through your mid-back, through your low back. And we'll connect with the breath here. So with your next exhale, feel your navel drop down towards the spine. Squeeze your knees in as close as they possibly can. Could be the legs doing the work, hip flexors activated, abdomen engaged, maybe the arms pulling in. When you're ready, a big inhale, belly rises, pushing the knees away, just an inch or two. On the exhale again, squeeze everything in, navel to spine, create more space for the knees and thighs to draw in. And then inhale, knees float away. Exhale in. Inhale, knees float away. This time, let's exhale, squeeze everything in. Option to lift your head and shoulders off of the mat, curling into a little ball. Let's inhale, release down, knees float away. Exhale one more time. Knees pull in, chin, head tuck in. And then let's slowly release down. And from here, let's reach off to the side, grab hold of your strap or your strap-like item. Let's place it around our right foot. And you don't want it at the arch of your foot or the toes, you want it just under the toe mounds. We'll start to press that leg up towards the ceiling and use the strap as a way to draw or help assist pulling the toes toward your shin bone. Really create that flexion and that stretch through the back of your right hamstring. So with this one, I always like to maybe loop my hands around the strap and just let my arms hang heavy. Shoulders can still stay plugging into the mat. Our left knee can either stay pulled in as it is. It has the option to drop the foot down toward the mat, or maybe we can extend that left leg, pressing the heel into the floor and still making sure that we're pulling those left toes back towards us. So the leg and thigh, everything is engaged. We'll focus on this right leg. Notice if the back of the leg is tight today. Notice if you can send the breath into the back of the leg, try to open up that area. With every exhale, belly falls, maybe the leg can pull in a little closer. And from here, take a moment to really bend that knee. Bring the thigh as close as you can towards your abdomen. And then on an exhale, we'll push our heel towards the ceiling, trying to keep that thigh exactly where it was. Let's inhale, bend the knee. And exhale, straighten the leg, keeping that thigh close. Inhale to bend. And exhale, straightening the leg. Take a moment. Try to pull this left femur back into your hip socket, reaching forward through the right sit bone, trying to align the hips. Okay, we'll pass both ends of the strap into our left hand, taking the right hand and placing the thumb on that hip crease. Again, assisting or pushing on that femur so that that right sit bone can reach towards the top edge of your mat. With that, let's start to draw that right leg across our midline toward the left side. So it might go just an inch or two, and then you start to feel a stretch through your glutes, your piriformis, maybe your IT band. And just going as slowly as the body allows you. Try to keep your back rooted into the mat. Keep both hips pressing into the floor. When you're ready, we'll bring that leg back up through the center. Bring a bend into the left leg, and we'll cross that right leg just as you would if you were sitting on a chair. Knees stacked over top of the other knee. And then hands are going to reach forward, pulling the knees in close towards you. So if the hands don't want to reach, there's tightness, again, use the strap around your legs to help assist pulling the legs in closer. This one again, getting quite deep into the glutes, focusing on the right side. And this is our first version, our reclined Gomukhasana pose or cow face pose. We're building up towards a seated version of this one. Here, maybe you'd like to do that same idea on an inhale, let the knees float away. Belly rises, and on that exhale, as the belly falls, knees come in closer. Maybe you lift your head and shoulders off the mat for a moment, and then let yourself melt back down. So in this one, if you're feeling comfortable, you may decide to walk your hands down your shins. Maybe you could grab both ankle creases, splaying the feet almost in that whale tail shape. And again, this is just the first version of our pose, so if it's deep, if it's too much, ease off a little bit. We'll take our time coming into it. And from here, we'll release the legs, uncross, give the knees a little sway side to side. Knees can open wide. Good. And then we'll start with the other side. So grabbing hold of your strap once again. Placing the strap around your left foot, just about the toenails, just under. We'll start to press that left foot towards the ceiling, drawing the toes down towards us. Shoulders stay rooted into the mat. Each breath, creating space in the back of the left hamstring. We have that option to drop the right foot down into the mat. We have the option to extend that leg forward, pressing the right heel down into the mat, pulling the right toes back towards us. Every inhale, belly rises. Every exhale, belly falls. Can that leg draw in a little closer towards you? One side can be very different from the other, so just starting to notice these tendencies in the body. And when you're feeling ready, we'll start to bring that bend into the left knee. Pull your thigh toward your abdomen. And on an exhale, we'll then start to straighten the leg, keeping that thigh close. Good. Your next inhale, let's bend that knee. With your next exhale, let's push the heel toward the ceiling. Keep the thigh in close, a very deep version of the pose. Relaxing, bending at the knee, and one more time. Use an exhale, and we'll push that knee away from us, straightening the leg out. Good. Releasing that leg. Again, let's focus now on that right leg. Pulling that right leg into the hip socket. Letting the left sit bone reach towards the top of your mat. Again, that hand can be used, pressing on your femur. Both straps, or both ends of your strap will come into your right hand. And as you push through the hips, lengthening that left side, let's let the left leg cross our midline, just an inch or two. Try to keep both shoulders, both hips rooted into the mat. Breathing into your IT band, breathing into your glutes. Firing up that piriformis muscle. bending or bringing that left leg back, bending that right knee, moving the strap off to the side, crossing that left leg over the right, knee stacked over the knee. Pull your knees in towards you, strap can be used. Hug the knees in close. Find that same breath pattern. The inhale, belly rises, knees can float away, and on the exhale, navel to spine, knees pull in close, head and shoulders can peel off the mat. If it's comfortable, that idea of splaying the feet, grabbing hold of the shins, or walking the hands down towards the ankles, it's a variation of the pose. One more breath, being gentle with yourself. Ease off if you need to. And then gently begin to uncross. Again, knees can sway side to side, resetting the hips. And knees can open wide. Now in this modified happy baby, hands can always be used as a gentle weight where we draw the knees a little closer toward the floor, pressing down through the arms. The hands can also always be a support. If there's too much tension on the hips, give a little lift to the knees. Try to let the knees relax into the hands. A full happy baby is welcome in the practice if you want to lift your feet so that they stack over the knees. Hands can hold on to the back of your legs. Maybe they walk up towards the ankles. Maybe we can grab the outside edges of the feet. Feel the hips opening up. Try to drop your shoulders into the mat. You press your low back and sacrum into the floor. Your belly rising on that inhale between the thighs and falling on your exhales. Big breath in, and on your exhale, option to extend both legs. Reaching out towards the sides. Your inhale, you can bend. And exhale, try straightening the legs. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Rocking side to side if you'd like. From here, let's bring the legs together. Hands come to the back of the thighs. Straightening the legs and bending, we find spinal rock. So rocking forward and back. Feel the massage along the muscles of your spine. A couple times, and then when you're ready, find that cross in the legs, roll right over, and we'll come onto our knees. Okay. Lifting up, we'll find our first gentle back bend. Hands can come behind you, fingers pointing toward the floor. And as we open up through the front of the body here, think about your hands pressing down and then helping that tuck of the tailbone. So press down, feel the hips stay stacked over the knees. Again, tucking the tailbone under, belly to spine, and then try to feel that lift up as high as you can through the sternum and through your heart space. Then, squeezing the elbows in towards one another, you might decide to send your gaze upwards. One more breath. And releasing out. Dropping down. Arms can come forward and find your child's pose, Balasana. Breathe into your back body, settle on your out breath. mind. One last breath cycle as you are. On your next inhale, look towards your hands. Walk your hands over towards the right side. Your left hand maybe stacks on top of your right, and then dropping your head and shoulders down toward the floor. Feel a long stretch through your left side. Breathing into any tightness, any tension we may be feeling. And on your next inhale, press down through the hands, look forward, walk your hands through center over toward the left side. This time your right hand maybe stacks on top of your left. On an exhale, we sink back down. Feel this through the right side. Can the hips stay heavily rooted toward the heels? Can we lengthen and extend the inhales? Your next inhale, walk your hands back through to center. Let's lift up into our tabletop. Okay. From here, tuck the toes under. Let's find our first downward facing dog. Sending the hips up and back. Pedal through the legs as needed, opening into the hamstrings, opening into your calves, your ankles. Feel the strength through the arches of your feet, through the toes. Think about the belly pulling in and lifting the abdomen off of your thighs. Think about pressing down through each finger pad, and specifically the thumb and index finger. You have that slight internal rotation of the forearms, but trying to let the upper biceps externally rotate, so away from the ears. Coming to a stillness, feel strong through the arms. With an inhale, let's drop the knees down to our mat. So we'll sit back into our Virasana pose. So back on the heels, and if that's uncomfortable, a block can be placed in between the ankles. Maybe it's a pillow or a rolled up blanket, and we let the sits bones ground down into that. If there's too much flexion in the knees or that point of the foot is really hard, feel free to come into a cross-leg position or one that works for you. Okay? We'll just focus on the arms for a moment. So sweeping that right arm across your chest, letting the left arm grab hold, and gently pulling it in towards you. Releasing that arm down, take the right arm right up overhead. Hand comes to the upper back. Left arm reaches up to grab hold of your elbow. Gently drawing the elbow in towards your midline. Your head can press back into that arm. Now keep yourself rooting through your sits bones. Try to avoid any popping out of the ribs, the chest. Keep the front of your body knitted, low, ribs connected toward your front hip bones. And as you root here through the sits bones, let's extend up through the spine. And on an exhale, find that side bend over toward the left. Good. We'll inhale, coming up through to center, and release the arms down. Do a shoulder shrug, shoulders up toward the ears, rolling them back and down. 2 more times. Up to the ears, back and down. Last one. Up, back, and down. So switching sides. The left arm will come across the chest. Right arm supports, drawing it in close towards us. Focus again on that rooting, and then extending up through the spine. Letting that arm drop down, sweep the left arm up overhead, hand toward the upper back, right arm reaching toward the elbow, in towards the midline, and head pressing back. We pull the low ribs in, dropping through our base. Add your side bend in. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, over toward the right. Come right back up through to center, releasing the arms down. Shoulders drawn up towards the ears and dropping them back and down. 2 more times. Up. Awesome. From here, we're going to take both hands behind us and start to bring the knuckles in towards one another. We want to feel a stretch through that tricep. Elbows drawn back, chest is open. Placing knuckle into knuckle. Now, if this one isn't deep enough for you and you want to take it further, you can always slide the hands so that hands try to reach toward elbows, forearms pressed against one another. Same idea, rooting through your base, belly drawn in, shoulders drawn back, breathing into the opening. Releasing the arms down. Give them a little shake. And then hands come forward. We'll come into our tabletop and tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Okay. This time with the big sweep of the right leg up, roll your hip open, dropping that foot toward your glute, so bending into your knee. Try to keep your shoulders square to the mat as you take your gaze underneath your right armpit. One more inhale. Good, next inhale, straighten that leg. Square your hips, look to your hands. Exhale, drive the knee forward, placing it between your hands, and drop your back knee down to the mat. Okay? We'll inhale, arms can rise, sink through the hips, open the front psoas, and let's exhale, frame the front foot. Let's step back. Inhale, left leg high. Roll your hip open, bending into the knee. Look underneath your left armpit as you keep the shoulders square. One more breath before moving. And then connect your movement to your breath. Inhale, straightening the legs, squaring your hips and looking to your hands. Exhale, knee drives forward, planting the foot between our hands, drop your back knee. Inhale to rise. Right psoas opening up. Exhale, framing your front foot. toes under, step back, high plank. Inhale to shift forward, and exhale, let's lower down all the way to our belly. Inhale, find your baby cobra or full cobra, Bhujangasana, if you're feeling ready. On an exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And then looking toward your hands, walk or hop your feet to the top of your mat. We'll bring the feet to the outside of our hands. And then start to bend the knees, looking forward as you inhale. Let's exhale, straighten the legs, folding down. Inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, extend the legs. Inhale, lift your gaze, bend your knees, low squat. Exhale, folding over. Good, we'll do the same thing. Inhale, let's heel toe the feet, hip distance apart. Find that same kind of movement. So the inhale, we bend the knees and look forward. And exhale, we fold, straightening the legs, melting over. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold. You can always bring your forearms behind your calves. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, last time. And exhale, fold. Hips high, dropping your heart, head hanging heavy. Let's inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Rooting down through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Gomukhasana, palms connect. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, hop or float. Chaturanga if you're feeling ready, and on your inhale, we rise. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, step between your hands. Drop your back knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, frame your front foot. Step back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step between your hands. Drop your back knee. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, frame your front foot. Step back to your high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Elbow squeeze in. Inhale, an upward lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Inhale, looking to your hands. Exhale, step or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Root to rise. Inhale, sweep all the way high. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Down to your chaturanga. Inhale to rise. And exhale, downward facing dog. Big sweep of the right leg high. Exhale, step in between your hands. Inhale, high crescent. Reaching the arms up. Exhale, bending that back knee. Hands to heart center. Belly to spine. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands drop down to the floor or onto your blocks. And let's extend the hips back. So straighten that right leg. Pressing down through your right toes so that we don't lock into the knee joint. Pull that right hip back and send that left hip forward. So we keep the hips square. Now you can keep that back leg with the heel lifted, or you can always step it in to drop the heel down. Let's use our breath. Every inhale, lift halfway. Long spine, and exhale, melt over. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. And inhale, let's lift halfway. Exhale, planting your hands to the mat. Step back to your high plank and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg high. Exhale, step between your hands, high crescent as you inhale. On your exhale, bend the back knee. Pull the front body in. Inhale to rise. And exhale, frame the front foot. Hands to the floor, blocks. Sending the hips back, we straighten the left leg. Again, pressing down through the front toes. Using the work of your breath. Inhale to lift halfway. Wrap that right hip forward. Exhale, melting down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, melt. Good. Inhale, coming forward. We bend into the front knee. We'll step back to our high plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or upward lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. One more cycle. And then we'll start to walk our feet mat distance apart from one another. Toes can stay pointing forward or turn slightly out. We'll walk our hands back, sinking through the hips for a low squat. Hands coming to heart center, spine nice and tall. Elbows press into the knees, knees press into the elbows. Create work for the inner hips. Yeah, from here, let's inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hold. Inhale, press away from the floor, lift your hips a third of the way, and exhale, back down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. Inhale, 2/3 of the way. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, almost all the way up. And exhale, down. Just don't bring that lock into the knees. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. One more time. Keep the arms up. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Inhale, sweeping the arms high. Step the feet together. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Let's bring the hands down to the low back. Interlace the fingers, opening up across the chest. Bending into the knees. Keep them bent so the abdomen rests on your thighs. Finding that connection again, dropping the head. Letting the clasped hands fall forward or reaching towards the ceiling. One more breath. And letting your hands come back down. Big inhale, sweeping all the way up. Exhale. Hands all the way down. Let's grab hold of our strap or that belt. And we'll come to a standing position on our mat. Start with your feet hip distance apart. And then let the strap come down so that we can step our right foot onto it. Okay? So again, just below the toe mounds. Shifting your weight into your left leg, root down through that entire foot. Again, avoid that locking into your knee so that micro bend is present. Okay? As you root down through that foot, start to lift that right leg up in front. And if you'd like to go over to a wall, feel free to place a hand on the wall and hold. Our right arm is going to hold onto the strap while our left hand comes toward the hips. Okay? Right arm needs to do a little bit of work to also pull that right shoulder onto the back. Left hand remains on the hip. Try to feel yourself that you're stacked, shoulders over your hips, hips over that foot. We often have the tendency to lean back to lift that front leg higher. Instead, we need to use the abdomen. Pull the navel towards your spine. Try to bring it up, one of our bandhas. Pull the toes towards you. Let your thigh and your psoas, your hip flexor, do some work here. Good. When you're ready, our left hand is going to come forward onto the strap. Our right hand comes off of the strap and it can come to our hip. Dropping that right hip down, we're coming to a pose that we did very similarly, lying down. We'll turn our chest towards the right side. Maybe our right arm extends off behind us. If you're really challenging your balance, move your gaze from the side toward your back hand. When you're ready, bringing yourself back forward, hand to the strap, and releasing that leg down. So if you're comfortable reaching your hand to the foot, you don't need the strap. The strap is always just that extension of the arm. If you're ready for the left side, again, decide if you need the strap. Maybe peace fingers can wrap around your big toe. This time we shift our weight down through that right leg and we start to lift that left leg up in front. Left arm can hold onto the strap, pulling that shoulder back, plugging the shoulder blade onto the back body. Feel your belly pull in, rooting down through that standing leg and bringing height up through the rest of the body. Okay? Avoid the tendency to lean back. Zip up through the front body. Engage your thigh, pull your left toes towards you as much as you can. When you're ready, right hand can grab hold of that strap. Left hand can come onto your hip. Maybe we turn. Maybe we can extend that left arm back. Option is available to turn your gaze behind you toward that left arm. Keep the belly pulling in, rooting strong, and in your own time, making your way back to center and dropping that leg back down. Good. The strap can then go off to the side. Have your blocks ready at the top of your mat, maybe those upside down cups, and we'll go into a flow. Use your inhale, sweep the arms high, navel to spine. Exhale, melt over your legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back. Chaturanga when you're ready. Inhale, upward lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale, sweeping the right leg high. On your exhale, step that foot through. Inhale, high crescent. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Now from here, we can drop that heel down, step the foot forward, straighten out through that right leg, pulling the right hip back, and that left hip forward. It might help if you walk that right foot slightly off to the side, and then bring that left hip forward even more, okay? We need to work on that tuck of the tailbone, belly pulling in. From here, press down through the toes, not locking into that knee. Hands will come behind and find that position again of either knuckles pressing into one another or maybe hands holding onto opposite elbows. Okay? Finding that position. Chest is open. Back leg is strong. Front leg straight but not locked. When you're ready, open heart. Exhale, start folding forward. Can we hold halfway? Pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. At any time, maybe you'd like to release and melt over that front leg. When you're ready here, let's inhale, hands can release down, lift halfway. Exhale to root your hands. Now the hands can be in the floor or on a block. This time the your right hand will come to your right hip. Option to stay here. Maybe we turn our chest over towards the side. Maybe we can reach our left arm toward the ceiling. We're rooting through the left hand, extending up through the right, continuously pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Navel to spine. With an exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor. Move a block off to the side, step back, high plank if you want, keep that right leg lifted, and exhale, chaturanga, inhale to rise. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we sweep the left leg high. Exhale, step between the hands. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, hands lower down. Good. We can do the same. Drop the back heel if you'd like. Maybe stepping the foot forward. We can walk our left foot off to the side as well. Starting to straighten that leg but not lock into the joint. Left hip pulls back. Right hip pulls forward, slightly up. To again, try to bring back the squaring of the hips. Tuck the tailbone. An action of almost trying to smear the back toes behind you helps assist that. Hands come behind the back, knuckles together, or reaching for the elbows. Standing tall, focusing on our alignment first, and then slowly folding forward. Come to that flat back position. Strong through that front leg. Wrap the right hip forward, left hip back. With an exhale, maybe you match the melting of your body as you breathe out. When you're ready to revolve, we release the hands down, bringing them down and rooting into the floor or into blocks. We root through the right hand, bringing the left hand to the hip. Maybe that's where we stay. Maybe we're able to open our chest towards the left side, turning into that front leg. You might decide to reach your left hand toward the ceiling. taking your gaze up in that direction as well. Long spine. Full breath. On an exhale, framing that front foot. We step back to our high plank, option to keep the leg lifted. Exhale to your chaturanga. Inhale, drop the foot, lift up through the front body. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more breath. Big inhale, look towards your hands, bend your knees. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Exhale to fold and release over your legs. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, our next flow coming into our full peak pose, Gomukhasana. On an inhale, arms sweep high. On an exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga, and inhale to lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high, and exhale, step through. Ground your back heel, opening for your warrior two. Windmilling the arms up. Flip the front palm, exalted warrior. When you're ready, windmill the arms down to the inside of that front foot. Let's turn the right toes towards the left edge of our mat and walk the hands to your center, lunging into our left leg. Full stretch here. Nice through the right inner thigh, left hip opening up. From here, bringing the hand behind you, use a block or support if needed. Drop your sits bones down into the mat, and then let that left sole of your foot come towards your inner thigh. Right arm down your right leg, sweep the left arm high, and exhale to your side bend. Reaching through active fingers, trying to root that knee down toward the floor. With an inhale, let's bring the left hand down by our left hip. Sweep the right arm across, lift your hips. A nice side plank if you want. Take it into a back bend, reaching behind you, chest toward the ceiling. On an exhale, let's sweep the arm down, both sit bones right down into the mat. Let's pull that right leg across, bringing the foot towards the outside of our leg. Okay. Now we can stay here if this is deep enough into our pose. We can start letting that right leg slide down so that our knees stack. Something I always do is just come forward to more of a tabletop and reposition the knees so that they truly do stack and press into one another. And then splay your feet behind, that whale tail idea. If you would like a block or a pillow, bring it behind you so that you can sit back and have your sits bones root into that, okay? So again, this is a very deep pose. If we're runners, if we're cyclists, we're often tight in these areas, okay? Your IT band, your glutes, piriformis, all of them can tighten up. So just allow yourself to try and root evenly through both sides. If you notice you're creating a C shape through the torso, again, trying to correct that, rooting down, letting yourself slide if you need to. If the legs need to kind of release out of the position, that's okay. We're still getting a stretch in that area. Just don't go as deep, okay? So we'll breathe here. Hands can rest on the front thigh. Maybe closing the eyes, chin can tuck in. would like to bring in the arm variation. We'll sweep our left arm up overhead, bringing the hand to the upper back. The right hand can either grab hold of the elbow again, or if you can, bring the arm down behind you and rest the back of your hand into your mid-back. Draw the elbow back. If this is comfortable, maybe you can walk the hands toward one another to find a clasp. Okay? If the clasp doesn't happen, you can always use a strap here if you would like to get into a deeper version of the pose. Okay? To do that, I'll just turn around to show you. To do that, bring your strap into your top hand. Oops. Oh, there we go. Bring your strap into your top hand. Bending at the elbow, hand comes to the upper back. Hand comes around, and you can just walk the hands toward one another, okay? Until they actually do want to grab each other. Let's take one more breath here. You've been in it for a little while. And then slowly begin to release your arms first. If you use the strap, put it off to the side. To come out of this one, we'll come forward, so hands root in front. If you use that block or pillow, move it out of the way. Uncross your knees and come to a tabletop. A little sway of the hips side to side. Good. And then in your own time, tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. We'll switch. Sweep the left leg up into the air, look to your hands and exhale, step through. Round your back heel, warrior two. Exalted warrior, flipping the palm and reaching up the back. On your exhale, windmill hands down to the floor or blocks. Walk your hands over to the side edge of your mat, bending into that right leg, lunging to the side. Nice stretch through that left leg. And when you're ready, maybe a hand comes behind, maybe using props, drop your sits bones down to the mat. That right foot comes to the inner side of that left inner thigh. Left arm down your left leg, right arm up. And exhale to your side bend. Again, working that right knee to the mat, left toes pull towards you. One more breath. And then let's bring the right hand beside our hip. Sweep the left arm across, lifting onto your knee, side stretch, or take it to a back bend. Hips forward, chest up, open heart. When you're ready, sweeping right back down to the mat. We'll cross that right foot over top of our left. And then from here, oops, I think I did that wrong. Sorry, we'll cross that left leg over the right. And now I'm gonna face you. Okay, there. And then we'll bring our straight leg and bend it towards our hips, okay? So, again, we can stay here, rooting through the sits bones, sitting up tall, finding the breath, or all those other options available. Sliding your foot so that your knees stack, maybe coming forward to get that positioning. Splaying the feet, that whale tail idea, and then perhaps using that block or pillow to give yourself a support to sit into. Okay. Use your breath to rest and relax into this pose. Some deep internal rotation happening. We often live in an external rotational world, so again, it can be quite tight. Be very gentle with yourself. Be very careful, slow moving in and out of it. And from here, comes up, grabbing hold of the elbow, this pose, or bringing that left hand down and finding your clasp. Use a strap if you have to. Keep the belly pulled in toward your spine. Keep your shoulders evenly stacked over your hips. While we're tall, allow yourself to ground. Coming back to the connection with the physical body again, notice if your breath has changed. Notice if your body is telling you anything. Could be too deep. Maybe you need a little more. Move to the next stage or ease off. One more inhale. And then let's release out. Again, hands will come forward. Moving that block or prop behind you if you had it. Uncrossing the legs. And then swaying the hips side to side. Okay, a good counter pose for this one will open up now. Either a wide legs child's pose, so if you want the knees mat distance apart, even a little bit wider with the big toes touching is available, leaning forward on forearms, or maybe melting down. If you would like frog pose, let's set up our mats so we have a little more support under our knees. You can double up your mat by just folding the ends over, or again, grabbing blankets and putting those under the knees. All right. Frog pose, we want the knees to be out wide. Check that your knees are creating a 90-degree angle. The feet are flexed, and then the hips often lean too far forward, sometimes too far back, and sometimes we might be looking for different sensations. But for this one, let's try to keep the hips in line with our knees. So find that place and then maybe resting on forearms. A way to truly release sometimes is placing a pillow, a block underneath the chest if it's comfortable. And then let yourself relax. So often this is a love-hate pose. Sometimes it can be quite intense, but also a really good feeling. If you'd like to stay in this one longer, then I definitely recommend staying and holding it. Once you are ready to come out of the pose, we'll lift up to forearms if we were down, and then up onto our hands. You can bring the big toes in towards one another and almost shift some of the weight forward so that we can gently draw the knees in, okay? Again, sitting back in child's pose, maybe a little sway of the hips is a nice counter. All right, once you're ready, we're going to come into our back bend today. And our back bend can be a few different options. Our first one will be a bridge support, and if you would like to come into a full wheel, also that one available. Okay? So for our bridge, root your feet hip distance apart, walk yourself down, let your arms come alongside your body, chin can tuck in, and as you press down through your feet, through your hands, arms, and shoulders, let's lift the hips and hold here. Okay. Work on that constant tuck of the tailbone. belly pulling in. Press down through your feet and act like you're dragging them back towards you. So fire up the back body. Keep pressing down through your hands, through your arms. Keep the breath being long on the inhales, long on the exhales. And I'll demonstrate the full wheel in the next version. So in the next version from this bridge, if you end up doing bridge again, your choice is to interlace fingers, walk shoulder blades into one another, and then press down through the pinky side edges of your hands as you lift your hips. Okay? That's option 2, but we'll all release down for a moment. Relax the hips down. You can pull knees in towards the chest. Little movement if needed. And then you decide if you're coming into the first version of bridge, that second version with the hands clasped, or if you're doing a full wheel, we again have the feet hip distance apart. Hands come up beside our ears with the fingers pointing towards our shoulders. Elbows point towards the ceiling, and same strength needs to be in the legs. As we press down in the legs, we're almost trying to pull ourselves forward. At the same time, we push through the hands, lift up, and push so that we can open the front of the body. Okay? As you push through the hands, you're getting a deep opening in the shoulders, a definite back bend. Pull the belly in, press through the feet, pull yourself forward. Try to use that as a way of lengthening your back in this pose. Try to stretch in opposite directions as much as you can. When you're ready, tucking the chin in, bending through the elbows, dropping the back of your head down, and everything releasing into the floor. Again, knees can pull in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around and hold. Releasing your arms and off to the side. Let's let the knees sway toward the right side. Keeping our shoulders both rooted into the floor, look towards your left hand. Maybe it's comfortable today for you to stretch that left leg out long and reach your right hand toward your foot. If we want to stay there, we can also bring our right knee toward the top edge of our mat, reaching the left hand toward the foot, finding a bind. When you're ready to release, letting go of the right leg, bending your left leg and pulling it back to center. Shimmy through the hips and switch sides. So we let the knees fall toward the left side. Keep both shoulders rooted into the mat. Look over toward your right hand. Straightening that right leg, maybe reaching the left hand towards that foot. If you can, move the left knee toward the top edge of your mat, reaching your right hand for your foot. Again, getting the stretch through the outside of that right leg. Maybe also getting a stretch through the front thigh of your left leg. Breathing into the spaces that need it most. The body is communicating with you where we're feeling the stretch, where we need the breath, where we need the nourishment. Send the breath back body, both knees pull in, a swing side to side. Like to open up through the hips, let the knees fall to either side. And with a lot of internal rotation today, maybe we need to counter and we end our practice here in a bound angle. Letting the soles of the feet come together, knees are out wide, hips open. You can always push down on your thighs, gently lengthening your back. If there is a deep pull on the inner hips, then grab hold of your blocks or your blanket. Place the blocks underneath your knees, give them support. Chin gently tucked in, and again. Hands can always rest on the belly, feeling the movement of your breath. Maybe the palms turn up toward the ceiling. Finding this resting pose. Often the mind will want to wander here. If the mind wanders, start to notice the trend of your thoughts. Notice if they're along a positive line, if they're worried or specific to one thing in your life, or if they're random. And we're not judging our thoughts, we're just looking at them as an observer. Just noticing where our mind goes. And then seeing if you can let the thought go and come back into your body. In this pose, Supta Baddha Konasana, we may be feeling deeper sensations that make it easier to connect to the body and let go through the mind. Always a little strategy that we can bring into our lives. And when you're ready, let's work to draw the knees back in towards the midline. Let your feet walk mat distance apart and the knees fall in towards one another. One last moment of internal rotation for the legs, for the hips. Constructive rest pose. And if you'd like to stay longer, please do. Otherwise, we'll pull the knees in towards our chest, a little rocking side to side. And rolling over onto your side body or making your way up comfortably to a seated pose. Ending with a short seated meditation. Just root through your sits bones. Hands rest on your knees. Sitting up tall and with an exhale, sighing out. We'll drop our right ear towards the right shoulder. Roll your chin across your chest. And let your left ear find your left shoulder. Roll your chin down towards your chest. Bring your hands to heart center. And with an inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale out. Thank yourself for practicing today, for nourishing every part of your body. A focus on your physical body, but nourishment sent to your breath, to your mind, and to your soul. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today, and from the light in me to the light in you. Namaste.